Your main concern right now, as I understand it, then, is what
Vocation,
you're going to
what I want to do.
vocation. Uh-huh.
Back a few years, I wanted to teach history, but now I've sort of strayed away from that. After being in a history class for half a semester, almost a semester, I'm getting sick of it, so...
Well, why did you want to be one in the first place? Can you remember back?
I just thought it'd be fun to teach kids. I liked history a lot, too. I have a lot of history books at home I read and stuff like that.
Did you have a history teacher then that really you thought was a fine person? Could this have influenced you a lot?
Probably, yeah, because I got an A in history that year. So that might have something to do with it. Now I just don't know what I want to do. I might want to be an architect, and I just don't know.
Was it mainly finding history a rough subject which made you change your...
My ideas have changed. I don't want to teach kids anymore. My friends have changed and stuff like that. We moved up 2 years ago or something.
You've just been living in your current area for 2 years.
Yeah, and the environment's changed from down in Los Angeles.
This has had an influence on you then, too.
Yeah, all my friends down in Los Angeles were all straight-A students. Then when I came up here, everybody's about down in the C bracket, and the attitude's sort of different about the A student up here. A lot of people shun away from him or something like that. And the way the system works up here, at our school, you have a lecture maybe 3 times a week. You know, there's 120 kids in the class, and you can't talk to the teachers maybe until the 5 minutes between classes. And you can't express your ideas or anything like that. It's just a one-way conversation that you can't do anything about.
And this is frustrating.
Yeah.
So it would help you out a lot if you could get to know your teachers better and be able to discuss more with them.
Yeah, if you could just become acquainted, because like in this class, you're just a number. You sit in a number, and they tell you to put your seat number on all your papers and stuff like that.
Yes,
And like my trig teacher, he's always talking about certain things. He never really talks about trig that much. He's always one level above us, so he always tries to prove he's a teacher or something like that. I don't especially like that aspect in a teaching profession.
What about a college you might attend? Would you shy away from those colleges which have a reputation for being big and impersonal?
I especially don't like a big college, you know. I don't especially like Cal or Stanford or something like that, but a small college I like sort of better.
And this is really important to you in coming through and developing your mind and your personality, this personal relationship that you feel is missing in your high school.
Yeah, back in L.A., you could always talk with your teachers because you had a lot of time, and they didn't give lectures or just big, long lectures. You know, they had more time to spend with you, so you could ask them more questions if you didn't understand anything.
And I'd imagine that this might have added to your confusion about trying to decide on a job. Not being able to talk, say, with a history teacher or with a teacher in some of these fields on a one-to-one level.
Yes. The more I think about the teachers at our school, the more I don't want to be one.
So a part of your decision has been influenced by looking at examples round about you, and examples which you do not find favorable.
Yes.
Well, you were mentioning other fields, professions that you might follow.
Yeah, well, I'm just sort of picking them out and seeing if I'd like to do this or like to do this.
You mentioned architecture.
Yeah, I took a mechanical drawing course one year, and I liked that pretty well. So next year I'm thinking about taking home design and sort of doing some more research on the field and seeing if I'd like to be an architect. I don't know. I thought about a lot of things, like policeman once. It was a long time ago. But just a lot of things influence your decision these days, you know, especially your high school. You're there 7 hours of the day, then you sleep another 10 maybe. Whatever decision you make is usually made by your high school influences.
You think your high school influences
and your friends
are really important then?
Yeah. It's a lot easier to express your ideas with a friend, you know, because he's got about the same thing. You get going on the same lines.
Well, school is tremendously important. How about family?
How about it? Well, my dad, he's sort of influencing me a lot because he restricts what I do a lot, too. I only go out one night a week or something. I'd like to go out, too. But
is this a decision he has made, or is it a decision together you have made, or is it a decision which was made because of possibly external influences, like grades?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, it was before I even got my report card, you know. Like, maybe 5 weeks before that, he'd say, well, let's see what the grades are like, you know. And now that they've come, you know, one night a week there, so.
And this was mainly his decision?
Yes.
Did you strongly object?
Well, not really strongly, but I think he knows I don't like the idea.
Did he make this decision and then tell you, or did you talk about it first? Or do you remember?
I think he just told me. We always get together after a report and he says, what do you think you're going to do about it? And what do you think you should do now? And all this sort of stuff. And I don't know, it's sort of weird.
Have you ever thought about following in your father's profession?
I had thought about it, but I disregarded it. Making up a sermon every week or something like this, I just don't think I could do it.
But you've seen what he has done in his profession, and then on the strength of that, you've made your decision.